things behind it is basically it's encouraging everyone else to say what they know. Like, that's the biggest part of it. So
Getting somebody to talk?
Yeah, that's it. Like, you would think that would be a simple thing when you have a panel and someone comes onto a panel.
It is never that easy.
It really isn't. It really isn't. And most of the time, pro players or people with, like high experience levels in Dota ignore a lot of the stuff they just take for granted.
Yeah.
Which is the stuff that you actually want to say on a panel.
Yeah.
Like, because not everyone out there has 8K or understands the finesse of how a creep wave's aggro moves back and forward. Like, that is not common knowledge.
All right, I'll tell you all the stuff I noticed in this game. It'll be real Gucci.
It's gonna be a lot of stuff, man. Like, even if you actually want to drop it down to the basic part of it, you'd start repeating yourself every single time.
No, it'll be fine. I'll show you.
Okay.
You know what? I'll just make this cast your lesson.
Okay.
We've had
Teach me, Blitz. Teach me.
Yeah, we've had a good enough. We've casted very seriously. I've had a good time doing that, but this game, I think entirely, I'm just gonna focus on giving you the basic strategy and mentality and stuff and all that jazz.
I love it. Lay it on me, Blitz. Lay it on me.
It really sounds like you want me to sleep with you right now.
That is not the way it's... What?
That's what you're making it sound like. Lay it on me, Blitz.
You're going to be like one of those guys where... Actually, no, I know you're not one of those guys, but you sound like one of those guys that's like, oh, a girl talked to me online. She favorited my tweet. Obviously, she wants to sleep with me.
That is how I got my girlfriend.
Alliances turn
That's actually the truth, isn't it?
I just kind of walked up and I was like, you're mine now. She was like, nice.
Oh, Blitz. You are a role model for the world of esports.
Did I ever tell you how I got my first girlfriend?
No, you did not.
I was 10 years old. I was in the 5th grade. Her name was Ashley. I won't say her last name because then you could Google her. But she was like redhead. She was like half white, half Japanese or something. We were doing like a science fair project. And hers had something to do with teeth, okay? She had like a tooth there or something. And I remember thinking, I was like, I need an excuse to talk to this girl. And I just straight up steal it. And then she's freaking out. She's missing it. And then, I'm like, oh, I'll come help you look for it. And I was like, oh, you dropped it here. And that was my in.
Oh!
Yeah, 10-year-old me was like a sociopath or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not proud of that moment.
Wow. Trust me. That's impressive, though, that you actually had that level of comprehension at the age of 10.
It was real messed up. I feel really bad about it now that I told the story.
That's. I don't know if you should really feel bad about it because, like, obviously you gave her a very happy moment, right?
Yeah.
Not that. Oh my.
Dude, we were 10, Toby. What the fuck's wrong with you?
That type of.
That is disgusting.
Not that type of moment.
Toby, I know I'm grown up.
Not that type of moment, Blitz. Not mean that type of moment.
Yeah, it's not impressive, Toby. That's like some sociopath level stuff. I don't feel like this should be commended.
Chat, decide. 1 for commend.
LGDs
2 for not. Okay. So our draft is going through quite nicely, Blitz. So it seems Alliance are back in their comfort zone again. The Keeper of the Light, the Rubik, the Bat Rider, the Gyro. This is Alliance through and through once again.
I think this is a much more balanced draft than the one they had in the first place. I feel like the first draft that they had was, it fit their wheelhouse. The second one too. And then the third one was the third one was the weirdest one by far, right? Like they put Loda mid, they switched things up entirely.
Yeah, it felt really odd.
Yeah.
It felt really odd because it means they couldn't play to their style. They couldn't play to their rhythm.
Alliance is like bread and butter time.
Yeah.
Hit them up. Give them that S4 Bat Rider.
Our chat is full of sociopaths.
Yeah. I mean,
everyone's wanting, man. Everyone's wanting. Okay, so...
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, so the Broodmother last ban out. They're looking towards the off-lane for Admiral Bulldog. LGD at least do have some really good armor plays and aura plays to play with. Like between the VS, the SF, and the Dazzle. I'm wondering if this is also one of the very rare times that LGD could potentially go for the VS core. We saw other teams experimenting with it. I say experimenting, actually using it frequently.
Yeah.
But I don't believe LGD has done so. It's not really a style hero.
LGD have a lot of their heroes though. The DDC I think has only played like Dazzle this series. I think that's the only hero I've seen him play.
Apart from the first game. First game he had to play something else.
Yeah.
Because Alliance first picked the Dazzle. But every other time, yeah, Dazzle's been that first pick from LGD and returned to Alliance. But ROTK gets one of his signature heroes, that Clockwork. Alright, so Alliance... You're looking at a safe laner.
Reserve time.
Or are you? Wait, hang on. Are they thinking,
LGD's
too, that this is a
turn to
VS core? Because they banned the Bounty Hunter, so they're banning a support here. So without the Bounty Hunter, like...
I don't think that's a VS core.
It doesn't... like, LGD isn't a team that would... I need to check.
I feel like...
I need to check. Like, when was the last time Sylar actually played a Vengeful Spirit? The answer is never. During this tournament, at least.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think it's...
For the last 20 games, they haven't played a VS core. So, yeah. The chance of this being a VS core is pretty
10
low.
seconds remaining.
Feel like that's just... Yeah, it's going to be an Ember. Okay, that's... This feels like an LGD Gaming draft.
Yeah.
The only thing weird is, like, maybe he plays both the SF, and I think his Ember is absolutely sick. I think he plays top 3 Ember.
Is this when you... you can't run an Ember versus a Bat Rider, right?
I think it's going to be SF. I don't really like safe lane SF.
So
I've never seen Ember versus Bat. To be honest, most of my experience does come from pub games and the competitive games I've watched. And in pub games, I do play Ember a lot. But I don't know if I've ever, in like the last 100 games, played against a Bat Rider mid. That's just not a thing in pubs, right? It's not a carry hero. So pub, like high MMR players just aren't going to play it. Even S4 doesn't play it, I think, in... He might now that it got buffed, but in the past I know he didn't. And I don't know what it's like in the safe lane either, but Bristleback is the last pick. This really feels like an Alliance draft.
How did like... Like, but it was, like you looked at the last 2 bands of LGD. You take out the Broodmother or you take out the Bristleback. Like, that's the simple part of it. So now a Coddle, Bristleback off lane, the Rubik Gyro safe lane. Both have amazing synergy. The Rubik's also really great against the Clockwork. I'm worried that ROTK's initiation is not really going to mean that much for LGD.
It's going to be rough from this game for sure. It's okay against a Gyrocopter. It's a timing-based thing. If the Clockwork gets the Blade Mail in time... Before you have BKB for very long, it's incredibly good.
But it's just staying close. You got Flame Break as well as Telekinesis that will throw you away.
Yeah, but you can... I don't know. You can lock the Gyro in so he can't deal damage. That's pretty important. It's just a whatchamacallit hero too.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a ROTK player hero.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Roddick.
Yes. Alright, let's get into our game. It's LGD. They will take to the field to see if they can force us into a 5th game, a full series. We haven't had one of those in a while. We had 3 of them during the first rounds, but...
oh, maybe he is going to be playing the Ember. Yeah, I don't know if you can't give this guy Ember. His Ember's so good. Ugh. Him, Sumail, and who's that guy? Envy.
Yep.
Envy. Those are my 3 favorite Embers. And no one is... oh, no, not no one. Pasha is close there, too. Those are my Ember guys.
You get to enjoy it today, man.
Yeah.
LGD, gonna 5-man move into the Radiant jungle.
They all play it slightly differently. They've got the angle on Alliance, but Alliance do have the Gyrocopter. Remember when people thought that fake patch note or whatever was real and they said Gyro would have like this channeling rocket barrage or something that went away with mana? That was unbelievable.
What a good thing that didn't come into the game.
I don't know why people ever believe those fake patch notes. Okay,
S4's
here we go. ROTK, great cogs block.
But he used it so early, it's still 14 seconds, so the rune's going to spawn.
Yeah, but it was just so that they couldn't get the angle, but it might not matter as EGM. He's going to pick him up. MMY, he's going to get rocket barrage down, but I don't think they have enough follow for this ROTK. He's got another set of cogs. He's going to get away just fine.
Maybe if RK was able to get to Illuminate in the first place, but he actually went for Chakra as the first one, so he's able to support Admiral Bulldog a lot more.
Yeah, I think he has to. It helps out the laning phase so much more.
Yeah, a lot more valuable than going for something like the kill onto MMY. Yeah, you get first blood, but landing phase is more important. So, did you make up your mind if you're going to be doing play-by-play, or if you're going to be doing Like basic facts.
I just did that for fun. Okay, you want to know? You want to know basic facts? Okay,
Yeah,
so
throw me some basic facts. Let me learn.
maybe pulls back the wave. He should reset this right now. Like he's gonna get this 1 CS, but it takes him too long. Like the turn rate isn't worth it. And oftentimes, Toby, what ends up happening is you kind of have to tell yourself as a mid laner, is it worth it for me to get this harass / deny? And now that he's reset it, he can go for this deny. He's probably not going to do it too often because of the sticky napalm, but he should A attack right now on S4 right after this wave ends. There's no reason to do it before because the creep wave is about to die to the tower and push it. But whenever you're playing melee versus range, you almost always want to aggro. It's just in that particular scenario, you're going to get sticky napalm 3 times. And when you're turning around to pull the creep wave, it'll be too late.
Do you actually have that much concern when you're running a stick this early on? Because you got a lot of burst
Yeah,
and
of
you got
course.
the resistance.
You still don't want to, even though stick is really good, the turn rate thing is really annoying. Maybe cancels the animation. If you're within 2 hits as a mid laner, you almost want to always wait for the other guy to play kind of chicken, right? But you can wait it out because the bat only has 46 base damage. That's my rough like 1 minute for you, okay?
I'm good for that 1 minute, man.
Cool.
Yeah. So look towards the top lane now in Sylar. So it is that safe lane SF. Real no issues for Souls. It takes him a while until now where he picks up the stick because he went the boots first. As opposed to going for any kind of stick. I'm interested to see just how much aggression Bulldog can actually apply.
You can do a lot. It's a safe lane SF. That hero's not going to do anything new.
Got a lot of CS. Like he's actually going to have more CS than SF in just a moment.
Yeah, that's the problem with this, is that he doesn't deal any damage and the kill potential is quite low.
Okay, let's talk about the Coddles effect in this lane. Now, obviously you got Chakra, but what do you do once you start getting more points up in Illuminate? What's your primary targets here?
I'm not sure. I'm not a Coddle player.
You gotta try it. It's a lot of fun.
Is it?
Yeah.
No disable. Not a carry.
It's the zoning, man. I remember because Sebastian used to play a couple of games with me, and he taught me a couple of things about Coddle. And one of the primary things he told me, like when you're playing like this type of lane, like Radiant versus Dire,
Yeah.
the primary thing is to actually control this area on the side and this area on the side. Once you do that, you can basically spam like blasts up this direction.
I think EGM's dead.
Is he?
No, he's not. He shouldn't be. He has Fairy Fire.
He's back.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. But the last point of it was the fact that you spam up the wave up here, but you don't actually hit the creep wave. So you get the heroes when they sit back at the tower, and the creep wave is up at this front angle. So you never pushed the creep wave with your Illuminate.
Is it you that used to say Eggum?
Yeah, that was me. I used to say Agam. But you were also calling like Horvorst Xbox 360, and during the entire TI1, I only ever called him Xbox. Because I didn't know how to pronounce his name. I couldn't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
That was like my first month or 2 in Europe.
Xbox was just it was a joke, man. I wouldn't call him Eggum seriously. You stubborn bastard, Toby.
Hey, I didn't keep calling him Agam. I changed it. And there was a couple of people though I didn't change with. And there's a couple of people like where people like most people think I pronounced the name incorrectly. Because it's like my accent kicks in and they're just like, oh, what the hell? Like when I say Sven.
Okay, that's fine. It's when you
see,
say.
No, according to other people, that's completely wrong because it's meant to be. I actually can't even say it correctly.
I think if you say Feta one more time, I'm gonna kill you.
Like I say Fata now. I've actually like you've noticed that we cast Team Liquid. Like
I haven't noticed that.
Have you not?
Nope.
That was a deep pushed effort from me to change that.
It's okay, Tober.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, Bulldog's gonna contest over here. He shouldn't be too afraid. Like it's the SF. The thing is, when you're playing against, when you're the offlane against the dual lane like this, Toby, you always want to pay attention to what the carry is doing. Like if the carry doesn't rotate over, then you have no fear. You can trade as many hits as you want with the support. Especially when you're level 4, almost level 5 Bristleback. It's when the SF decides to rotate in. But that's kind of the issue with SF, is that it's not like a gyrocopter where you can help chase. You don't have the kill potential.
So let's hear about this from ROTK. It's copying a lot of damage by trying to stay close enough that he can leech the experience, but he doesn't die, so I suppose it's still worthwhile. Drags the creep wave back under his tower, so he's finding levels and so is Bulldog. You're right, like, then why does Bulldog even care? Like, you got the Fairy Fire up your sleeve, you've still got a salve, and I get to miss EGM's first blood. Maybe rotates down and joins with MMY. Whoops.
That was the longest time coming. He was standing on that side area without a ward for so long. That's why I remember when I initially called it, I was like, EGM's dead. The MMY actually just sat down there and waited. Although I don't really like Venge on MMY. I feel like it's almost not greedy enough of a support, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that you can do the same things that you can on the Lion, the Spirit Breaker, heroes like that.
Unless he builds into some kind of like damage dealing item. Like, could you even turn him into like a secondary damage like?
No, not in a game like this. You have too many. You already have too many greedy cores.
So just get the control items instead.
Oh, this is so smart. They know everything. They watch this. The Batrider. They have the wards up preemptively. Like, they even place a sentry so that he can pull through with the Firefly. It's really good by them. It's gonna slow down the Blink Dagger by a lot, but S4 still almost already has it because he's had a completely free lane. Like, the Ember Spirit can't do anything against the Bat. Like, how is he going to even get aggressive?
Maybe. Jumps in, MMY is going to get the stun, EGM. He can pick up over an MMY, but the sticky napalm stacks aren't high enough, and S4's got no more support to really turn anything there. Meanwhile, Admiral Bulldog dies on the top lane. So Sylar rotated over with a couple of raises, and then the Shadow Wave and Shallow Grave. They catch Bulldog out.
I'm surprised that he died there.
Wow, S4. This is this the ultimate greed? He's doing it underneath the dire observer wall as well. This is not the dream, S4. But he's got Firefly. He might get caught on the cliff. He's down the hillside. The spirits will come. The flame rate pushes maybe back. He's actually going to live.
All right, that was really greedy, but he manages to pick up almost all of it. That's pretty insane, actually. That
he's got 2,100 gold. Yeah, 7.5 minutes in, like, both his camps, actually, this one's not blocked, but he's realizing this one is.
I can't believe that he's alive right now, but he did time that pretty well. Credit to him.
Well, with this camp now, EGM's still going to leech a little bit of the experience off it, but now that Blink Dagger is up for the Batrider. I'm wondering where they head next. My mind turns to bottom lane. My mind turns to ganking ROTK before ROTK ganks them.
He's level 6 at a pretty reasonable time, and he's got a decent stack of gold right now. Loda's going to clean up this creep wave. Ake does blast ROTK once, but ROTK should be fine.
Is that
his Trinkles coming in right now? He needs those. Yeah, it is. Believe that's the Blink Dagger pickup by S4 too. Should go for the smoke. I would like to see him actually gank the safe lane. If he goes through the SF and give EGM the mid lane, because EGM has to catch up. Think that is the play, and that is exactly what he's going to do. But maybe he's prepared for this. You notice that maybe he is set up to actually get the kill on Bulldog, and then they'll try to take down the tower with with the SF and the Dazzle. They've got the double stack wave. Bulldog should see this coming and just hide.
Yeah, he's waiting in the tree line. They ping it out though, and they wave of terror. They see him.
They need a TP right now.
Alliance is already here. They don't need a TP when they've got 3 heroes smoked up behind. S4's ready to come. They're looking over towards Sylar. They blink the last two, and they drag him back into the fight and into the Illuminate. It hits CDC with a cooldown from Loda. Saab being picked up. There's no TPing out this one. He burns in the Firefly. RTK, okay, it's going to be Cogsole by EGM. He's not in range. The Flame Break cancels the TP out from DDC. Bulldog may have died, but you just brought down Sylar and Alliance. I don't know if they read that perfectly or they just came up for a gank, but
no, they read that perfectly. They knew that
2 for 1.
They knew that maybe it was going to rotate in, so maybe sees the most obvious way that's done is you saw the double wave, right? And the tower's at full HP. The only reason they give the Bristleback that much experience is if they were planning on going for the wraparound, and he sees the Vengeful Spirit come up, so they know that the Ember Spirit's behind, so everybody and their mother rotates in for that. That's the perfect play. It's just reading it for the next step. Like, you notice that Bulldog, as soon as he sees that they stacked up the double wave, he tries to hide in the corner, but LGD reads that situation right there. Like, okay, he's almost certainly dead.
And now Bulldog, like, it doesn't even matter if he dies because he's got the Ancients to stack up and farm. Like, he kind of needs the key for the light over to give him, like, a little bit more quills, but doesn't fully need it. It just would make life easier. S4 is looking for another moment too, but he's not going to find one. Still no last two.
That was godlike, though.
No.
They should have been able to get even more there. If Bulldog doesn't die that quickly, they can bait him even further. I don't know how he died. Seemed a little bit fast.
I didn't fully see it either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's gonna get his Vanguard right now anyways.
Yeah.
He's got a really good amount of farm for being in the off lane.
Alliance are heading north again. It won't work just to walk up there again. Like, Alliance might not actually realize this Observer Ward's here. It's one big thing for LGD, which, like, you praised before with this Observer Ward in the bottom lane, looking and setting up the first blood in EGM, and then the other Observer Wards, which watch the Batrider camp, and then they plant this next one, which is a little bit more unique now, because you can plant this while you're still down the river. So you don't actually have to come to the Radiant side to plant on the hillside.
Loda doesn't really want to be in this bottom area. S4 does have the smoke and his ultimate up. They're going to go for smoke right here. Maybe seems way too difficult of a kill. I think it's a lot easier for them to just track the SF repeatedly and allow EGM to get the mid XP, which is exactly what they're going to do. Because you don't have enough burst damage to kill the Ember Spirit. I think the only way that you do that is if you have like +1. I don't know. Maybe the call down would do it.
They see DDC. He walks too far of the side now. Now they get a glimpse of both Sylar and RTK. And S4 starts the Firefly. Blink last two. And RTK, you're about to be dragged all the way down into the pit. The Illuna's prepping, and he actually hook shots up into the Ancients. The Flame Break's going to bounce him around, but RTK with the escape, they didn't block. That was kind of like the one angle he had to get out.
Yeah, that was really nice by him. Doesn't hesitate whatsoever. RTK isn't really known for those kinds of individual plays, but that one was really good. They do get the level 6 now on to EGM, and he's actually level 8. He's been just farming for the last 3 minutes. He was like level 5 the last time I checked, but he's got Flame Guard up. Level 4, that's going to be incredibly strong against LGD's lineup. Loda up at top. Doesn't have the best CS, but you can kind of understand that because of the amount of times he's been rotating with the rest of his team. It's Ake that's actually just hit level 6.
And now he's going to come under pressure. The Rocket. Ake. He runs out, starts the Illuminate, doesn't actually reveal himself for this. And the Illuminate's only going to chip the back end of the wave, and in fact he just TP's out directly after.
Still a smart play by him. He hides in the side. Maybe he would have dove that otherwise. So there's no way that they can defend that quick enough.
S4's back to farming up the dire jungle.
LGD is going to take this bottom tower though, 100%.
Yeah.
And then the next tower objective, I don't know, they have ward vision top, but it's much better for them to take mid so they could get control of the jungle against the bat and the gyrocopter. Like, you want to take control of the enemy jungle now if you can. DDC should place a deeper ward into the jungle, and then they should take over this right side, because then it helps them as well when it comes to roshing.
I love the way Alliance, so they're finding ways to stack up inside their own camp. Like,
Yeah,
Bristleback,
they're going to go for the mid.
okay, so just a tier 1 tower attack?
Yeah, because you want to try to corral the jungle as much as you can. And it also helps you take Roshan control when you're on the dire side. Like, they have, you notice that they had ward vision top, but they decided to go for the mid one. Even if it's a little bit riskier, the payoff is a lot better.
This is an Invis Batrider. Yeah, she doesn't have any time left on it though. As like I said, there's one sentry or 2 sentries over an MMY, but both aren't planted down. So they get the mech, the blade melt, and the treads up before this fight begins. Illuminate spam is still going to keep it, like, the creep waves low, not to mention the heroes of LGD. As now the extra TP comes in from Admiral Bulldog, maybe. That Observer Ward lets them see Bulldog as well as EGM walk forward, but S4 waiting for that moment, and he gets battery assaulted. Tried to go on RTK, who's now going to actually hook shot forward. He wanted to go for the cogs pushback onto S4.
Oh, this cooldown!
But the cooldown's going to do some serious work with the flag cannon from Loda. The damage is inflicted, and the Illuminate just actually tags on RTK and Sylar. They need more damage, and the Harpy is moving forward, but there's not enough damage from it. Maybe will spirit himself away to safety.
Everybody just walks away with 200 HP on the side of LGD, even with the bottle ticks channeling between them. If S4 could have gone that hook off, or the lasso off, but the preemptive swap, they stun him down, they burst him, he doesn't have the Force Staff. Does he? No, he's still building up towards it. If he had it, maybe he gets the pick off there. That was a lot of damage too. It's just that Loda doesn't have the required amount of farm to be able to go for a play like that because he's been rotating so much.
It's also because he went for more of a greedy build with the Helm of the Dominator.
Yeah, exactly.
But he still found extra damage. Like, I don't know if you saw that Satyr running around in the fight. It almost picked up a double kill at the end.
Yeah.
Like, if they did just a little bit more damage during the final alliance, they would have picked up both the clock and the VS.
They were just shy of completely destroying that fight. The call down was sick by Loda. It split the wickets.
Is it you actually making a cricketing term?
I don't know. I've just heard that. And that's what we were talking about before too, with the clockwork timing. If he gets the blade mail before Loda gets big enough, this is when he's going to be the most effective. Like, ROTK can be a beast here.
LGD are going to try and finish the job on this tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower
Okay,
is
we'll
under
come to
attack.
defend, but it's already too late. They've got no fortification and no heroes here, so maybe we'll get the last hit. More
Radiant's
money
middle
coming into
tower
this
has
BT
fallen.
first Ember Spirit. Crimson Guard timing, not too shabby for the Bristleback, up to around 16 minutes. Becoming tankier and tankier. They're still missing the mech from that team. I'm assuming that's what RK should be building into next.
No,
Or is it worth
I think
getting the
Ags is
Ags?
better. The Ags is kind of like a mech too.
S4?
S4? You... what?
S-
Gustav?
S4?
Is he just gonna die here because of this?
They see him now. He's
They're-
bottling up. They
Oh,
wave
no.
there. He can't blink. And he was there for a ward. If it gets... No, that's the ward's already been placed. What was he there for? Why was he there, Blitz?
I didn't see the lead up to that. I only saw the ending.
Maybe he felt like... I only saw it once he got inside the pit.
I'm sure there was a reason for it, but still, that looked
Slightly odd.
really weird. He just got hit by Roshan like 8 times, and then they see him and kill him. Definitely should not have happened. Ake's gonna blast in, slow this down.
He's screwing with them at least. It's buying time for the attack to come in mid, as well as Loda to farm up on the top lane.
He's gonna get another
If
blast
this-
off.
hang on, can he
I bet he
actually-
steals it.
Yeah,
I bet he
he'll-
steals it.
15.
Oh no, he's like half a second off, not even.
RTK is searching for him, though.
RTK's got hooked too.
Yeah.
Ake doesn't have a TP, he's dead.
Yep. 1,300 gold. He's got Blinding Light, though. Pushes RTK out, goes for the run, but Sleight of Fist Steering Chain will control him. He buys the Staff of Whiskery before his death, so it's not going to be the mech. It could still be the Aghanim Scepter. It could also be a 4-staff up against the Clockwork. But the Aghanims, is, like, it makes more sense because you've got Blinding Light.
Yeah. 4-staff's pretty cool too with Mana Leak. Loda has to go for the BKB first now. The Blade Mail has been online for too long. This Blade Mail Clockwork ruins a lot of Alliance's plans. And before S4 gets a 4-staff, I don't know if they can take a fight.
Does Bulldog also go in for the BKB build, or is there other form? Does he just tank up instead? Like
I think you're
armor
just
and tank.
I think you're just armor and tank. The problem though is that he's the only core that's surviving, but his catch potential isn't that great. Like, he needs the rest of his team alive to be able to do this. For LGD, all it's about is thinning out numbers, and that's where the Clockwork having this quick of a blade mail comes in so handy. Because all he has to do is isolate either the Batrider or the Rubik, and if he can burst down either of those heroes, almost all the crowd control from Alliance is gone, and the fights become so easy for a player like Maybe, for example. Like, this is an Ember Spirit that they haven't even touched yet. Because if you notice, their team just lacks disables or catch.
LGD, easy tier 1 tower on the top lane.
Radiant's top tower.
There's that 4-staff you're talking about, but RK dead after Maybe initiates on him, and Admiral Bulldog not really having a great time either. Maybe it's just going to walk himself out. There's an extra spirit. S4, he misses on the jump. He tried to get the last 2 on Maybe, but misses, and now LGD, they can counter-initiate. Hook shot down on top of Bulldog. What can you still? Only battery assault. That's not going to save Admiral Bulldog. He can work his way out of the cogs, but they swap him back up into the fight of LGD. It's not telekinetic to stun, but it's still not enough to save that Bristleback. And they're looking for more. The TP out from EGM. They 4-staff up. Where's the stun? The Sleight of Fist and Chains. There you go. EGM down for the count. And 11-2. Now it's LGD's turn just to roll with their momentum, and they're going to go straight down that mid lane. Looks like we're going to 5 if this keeps going on.
At this rate, I think the lineup might be a little bit too difficult for Alliance to run. I think we should wait for Judgment before the BKB on the Gyrocopter, but if that comes out, they lose the fight, then I would feel comfortable saying that LGD is most likely going to win this game.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They're not out of it yet, Alliance, not nearly, but it is starting to get really dicey. Like, it's a 5,000 net worth lead for them. They still don't have any real way to deal with Maybe. He's eventually going to get that Battle Fury and become much stronger. The Shadow Fiend now has a fully completed BKB, and they've got the Dire side, so they can always just go for the Roshan constantly.
Alliance need a way to get out for it. Like, how do they contest it? You can try and play for the vision battle, but the supports of LGD are just so loaded that, like, you can just keep buying sentries or even get a gem up. In fact, it's around that time where RK was looking to buy the gem last time, but this time it's a little bit later. And LGD, they're grouping up again. Like, you got Aegis in the Immortal for another minute and a half, roughly. So you should be able to take the tier 2 tower with that, or at least force some kind of reaction out of Alliance, be it mid or bottom.
The DD rune plus the BKB completed on the SF. I think that you go for this. You know that Alliance can't fight into you, even with the Batrider lasso. You're not too concerned about it. And they know that Loda isn't strong enough to contest them either. There's no way that Loda wants to fight before he gets his BKB. Like, you want to find out what happens when you have the max amount that you can get.
Well, here comes your tier 2 tower down. Hook shot. They call Bulldog. Sylar can make quick work of this. Blinding Light can push him back, but Bulldog can't work his way out of the cogs. The call down actually going to hit almost all 5 heroes of LGD, but you've still lost 2 of Alliance. RGK forced after way to safety. Sylar with his BKB up, chasing up the Bulldog. The Sleight of Fist Searing Chains will hold Loader in position. This BKB gets delayed a long, long way. And in fact, LGD, with the creep wave now arriving, they get Blinding Lighted, but they can still keep this push going. Manner of Life is good for them. And they're actually looking for a Sleight of Fist Chain, and they got one. It's S4. The 4-staff up, and now the Cogs trap. S4 is going to get pushed back out. So he's away to safety back in his base.
Still have the Aegis though, and look like S4 wanted to go for that. Almost no chance. ROTK even preemptively pops the Blade Mill. Radiant structures are going to get fortified, but that'll be the... No, Sylar still has the Aegis, and now it times out. I think LGD are going to re-engage. They've got mana and HP.
They just got the Battle Fury also arrived for maybe. If Alliance don't notice this and they group up, it could be terrible for them. Sylar's still got... Okay, he doesn't have the BKB, but he's letting the Requiem of Souls go. Cancels at the last moment, as Alliance not really fully committing. And now as they're going to walk near the high ground, he can turn for the Razor. Sleight of Fist doing the work, and RTK goes straight through them. Alliance, whereas these cogs are still on cooldown. The Battery Assault Blade Mail, they're too close to fight, and there's your Sleight of Fist again. Loader's going to go down. A triple kill for maybe. You can lasso and drag him back, but the VS swaps out. Stuns up S4, and LGD, they have pitched their flag, and China currently own the Alliance base to a point where Alliance tap out and move to a new continent.
Yeah, GG is called. LGD, pretty dominant performance. There was like a small bright spot for Alliance where their 3 cores were actually getting a lot of farm. The Batrider had by far the most CS in the game, and that top maneuver was so good for them, but things just really started to fall apart once that mid-engagement went so poorly for them. They weren't able to get anything, and the mobility of the Amber Spirit made things real difficult for them.
Well, it's going to make it difficult for full 5 games we're going to get for our grand final after Alliance took game 1 and took game 2 in convincing style. LGD hit back with some really strong performances. And now we'll see what's going to happen in our deciding